Okay, my name is Licio Jr. I was born and raised in New Jersey, in the United States, right outside of New York City. Nicky has a very special place in my heart. I think me and Nicky, me as a person and Nicky as a character, are very close to each other. So I connect with Nicky very well, and he's definitely, one of my most favorite characters that I've ever played. And Trekkie in the same way. Not that me and Trekkie are as similar as me and Nicky, but I love playing Trekkie. I don't think I'll ever get a chance to play a character like Trekkie ever again, and it's cool bringing him to life. Other than me drawing on a sock, nope. But they just put us in a puppet school for this. We had 2 days of what they called puppet boot camp, where we'd go for a couple hours a day, and they'd show us the puppet basics, like all the things that we need to cover in order to bring this puppet to life and make it convincing and able for an audience to connect with. And then I think as I went on with the role, I picked up things like little subtle things that would make the character seem more like a real person and more easily relatable. But a lot of it is just, we got the foundation in puppet boot camp, and then we move up and kind of figure things out on our own and try out little new things here and there that kind of slowly gather it and bring it to life. When they brought us to puppet boot camp, they had all the puppets set up, and we would go through, the characters that we were auditioning for. They'd have those available for us to play with, and they just left them out, and they would show us all the basics with the different puppets, because each puppet is different. Like Nicky's got hands, it's got sleeves, you put your hands in it and it becomes, you use your real hand. Like Princeton, on the other hand, he's got a rod and everything's done with a rod. Same thing with Rod, he's a double-rodded puppet. So there's a lot of different kinds of puppets to learn about. So it was all kind of a lot at first, but yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's really kind of neat. The teacher, we had 2 people help us out. First, Evan Ensign, who's the director of the show, and then Amy Garcia, who was in the original company of Avenue Q, who has a lot of puppeteering experience, who just kind of gave us the rundown of how to do everything.
Well, Nicky's up here. This is how I speak as Nicky.
And then Trekkie's way down here.
So it's kind of fun. It's fun. I've never done a musical before that I actually got to make cartoonish sounding voices. I'd always have to just sing in my normal legit voice and act in my normal legit voice, aside from like a couple of roles where I had accents or whatever. But it's just really fun. It's almost like being a cartoon character on stage who's relatable in a real life sense. And it's so interesting and so much fun to do every night. At this point where I am in the show, it's like me and the puppets are one. It's almost like, I forget sometimes I have a puppet on my arm. I forget that I'm puppeteering. But I think the big thing at first, when I first started working with the puppets, was remembering that when I was acting, to speak to the other puppets and not to the actor. And that takes a little bit of adjusting, because I was so used to doing other plays where I would act to other people. So as soon as I got on stage, I was like, oh, can't look at the actor. Can't look at the actor. I gotta do it to the puppet, because the puppets are the characters. I think what's so special about Avenue Q is that it takes real-life issues that are hard to confront and makes it relatable and easy to connect to, because you're doing it through these cute, naive puppets. You're used to looking at a puppet on Sesame Street and be like, oh, that's funny, it's cute, it's acting like a kid. But then when you bring it to you bring that sort of memory with you to this play. And you relate on that level, except with adult situations. And it makes it it makes you open your eyes to certain things that are issues that are happening throughout the world, let alone New York City, which I think is incredibly clever. I think the Japanese audience will really enjoy the show, really, because I don't think it's just for Americans. I think that everybody in any country could relate to this show, because they're issues that are being dealt with on a human level, not on a cultural level. Come see Avenue Q. I promise that you'll have a great time, you'll laugh the night away, and you will be changed from it. I promise you that. Avenue Q, mini kitene.